Welcome back. We're talking to Maureen C. and to John McDowell and my co-host Heather Spaulding.
I'm here.
We're all here. It's 12:30 on Tuesday, the 10th of September. And I promised that we would talk about what it's like to be a spouse of a volunteer firefighter. So they carry pagers, right?
Oh, yes.
And that pager is sitting in the charger.
Yes.
Is it a Motorola still?
Yes. Or it was. I don't know. It is currently Motorola.
I covered fires, the fire department. I covered 5 fire departments in Missouri. Missouri has smaller counties, and so I covered 5 different fire departments at one time for 6 years in rural Missouri. And I actually carried two of their pagers. That's how close. Mm-hmm. Usually media doesn't carry fire pagers, but they treated me like a volunteer. And so they're loud and obnoxious. They're meant to wake everybody up.
Yes.
So are you used to it?
Yes, of course I'm used to it. I've been listening to them go off for years now. He tries to keep it low, and listen carefully at night. And anyway, we're fine. I mean, I am proud that he's doing it. I think it's great that a guy his age is still out there trying to help the community and be a part of a solution, and he's good at it, and all of them are. It's a very familial thing in this place that there's a friendship that exists and a trust that exists with the fire department that a lot of men don't get in other places, and we have a lot of good women in there as well now. So I think it's a great bonus.
Now, there's no time to make him coffee or anything like that. He's out the door.
I'm sleeping.
90 seconds.
I'm still in nap.
You wake up and he's gone.
State.
You wake up when he comes back, though. That's a little different,
sometimes,
right?
Yeah. And the stories are, very hard to hear sometimes.
In your observation, is it a stressful job to even be a volunteer? Is that a stressful job?
Oh, yes, it is.
They see some stuff.
They see things, they see accidents, people injured, burning buildings, hoping that they're doing everything they can to get people out, pets out, whatever. It's very stressful. But the training is substantial, wouldn't you say, John?
Yeah, I think we have a good training department.
It really helps that they are prepared going in. The fires that we've had in town, when the grocery store went down, and then when the corner's place went down, the guys were incredible, incredible. So we're lucky to be where we are and have such a staff.
John, were you a volunteer or staff?
No, I was a career firefighter. I was a fire officer down at Eugene, Springfield.
Ever here?
No. They tried to get me to.
Yeah.
But as I told my wife, 32 years of hearing the voices in your head at nighttime, that's enough. So I just help them out when I can during the daytime.
That's great. So it's practically a fraternity, sorority. It's now women are involved. Is that going to continue that ratio going to continue to change, you think? Do you think it'll ever be 50-50 men and women?
I don't know. It depends. What we do is we look at areas where we have holes in coverage, like if there's a certain area, and we go out to the community there. So whoever responds, that's the ratio we get. We don't say we're looking for women, we're looking for men, we're looking for anybody. And that's the message that we get out.
There's no part of this that a woman couldn't do, is there?
They
can drive the truck. They can drag a hose across the...
They're better women than I am, I'll tell you, that do all that.
They're doing it, and some have to adapt how they do things, but they all get the job done.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anybody that hasn't gotten the job done here.
Maureen, have you ever happened to be at a fire?
I was at the fires in town, and it's unbelievably intense. What they're doing, I mean, keeping hydrated, stepping back,
Right.
watching making sure the person in charge is really anticipating all of the team there and making sure that they're doing things the correct way. It's intense.
You probably weren't the only spouse there. Were you?
I'm sure I wasn't.
Yeah. That was like just a gigantic collective trauma for the whole island. Mm-hmm. Maybe the county, but at least the whole island, right?
Absolutely. I mean, these are buildings that Herb's, I mean, all that whole corner is like landmark buildings, and it's taking years to put that back together. So I think it's very, very hard on the community.
In my experience in the 6 years in Missouri, it was the car accidents, the vehicle accidents that were the most awful, intense. And, you know, in these small communities, there's a darn good chance you know who's been injured or killed.
Right.
And
You know the person.
yeah, I almost have PTSD from just being there when these guys realized who that was and what had happened. It takes a special strength. It takes a person with a lot of strength to power through those kind of situations.
It's not unlike the Army or the Marines, where you have to keep going forward when there are issues and there's a crisis. You're trained to just keep going forward, and that's what they do.
Well, we should be really grateful. I think a lot of people have this idea that, you know, volunteer firefighters, some of them at least, you know, like to have the lights on their cars and speed around and all that, are all of the perks or the prestige of it. But these are people who are putting themselves in terrible situations as well as huge risk. You're going into a burning building, you know, and it's very much like all other first responders, EMS and sheriffs and police. It's just takes a very special person. And you know, when a building's on fire or there's a terrible accident, we just kind of turn to them and assume, okay, you're trained, you're going to handle this. And they do handle it. But we don't probably always think about the emotional toll that's going on at that moment and then, you know, afterward.
Right.
So thank you, first responders. We get it.
Yes.
We do get it.
Thank
And
you.
this would be a good time to return the favor by giving them everything they need, right? Is that
Help
fair?
Absolutely.
Keeping a well put together department that's now run by a great chief. And you know, I wanted to say one thing about the volunteers. Part of this increase will help that to grow the volunteer program, because the last many years it kind of was in a little bit of a decline, and this is going to help promote that more and let people get in there and be a part of this team.
You need 50, you have 40. That doesn't sound like a lot, but that's 10 different people making a life-changing decision. Really, a life-changing decision and a huge commitment, right? So 10 in a place this small is actually a formidable number. It's a serious number. You know, each one would be an individual victory if you can pick up. So if anybody's thinking about it, it sounds like this will be a good time, especially if the levy lift passes. Might be a very good time to kind of re-energize, and if you hadn't thought about being a volunteer firefighter, it might be a good time to think about it. And there are other volunteer positions, right? It's not just fire, you know, if you don't feel like going into burning buildings, there's all kinds of support functions, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's a whole bunch of support functions, people that fill bottles, people that make sure that they're hydrated on the scene, they get food, people that go out and assess your home for wildland, the FireWise program.
that's a good
So there's a
program.
lot of opportunities to be part of the department and not go on fires. And we need people in all those positions.
So in our little break, you were kind of giving the closing arguments to me. You already sold me, although I should say that however I vote doesn't make any difference. We are totally open to anyone who wants to speak against this. CNL2 goes out of its way to create equal access for everyone. So if anybody has an argument against this, come on in, give me a call. Haven't met that person yet, but they might be out there. So, but anyway, John, go ahead and give your closing argument.
Well, I think that we've done a very poor job of educating people of what we do and what services they get. And I think people rely on us, so they just expect that we're going to do the best thing for them. And we have their best interests at heart, which we absolutely do, but I think we have gone too long without taking a deep look at our problems and what needs to be fixed, and that's on us. But you can tell we've been very frugal with the money in the past, and everything we looked at isn't just give us as much as we've identified all of our problems and laid it out there and said, this is what we need, the support from the community to do what you want, the services that you want to receive.
All right. You have a closer?
I would like to just say, I would like to see our fire commissioners make a bigger connection with the community so that the community knows these are elected commissioners and they are representing the fire department and they oversee the chief. And I just want them to get out there and let people know who they are and what they're doing and why they're doing it.
Yep.
Well, Maureen, as long as you're here, I'm going to
Yes.
ask you, I warned you, I'm going to ask you about candy. So you have this famous last name. Now, the company was sold to Warren Buffett a long, long time ago.
Yes.
I was reading about See's Candy, and you know the story, right? It was, so Berkshire Hathaway had been around for a while, and they had been specializing in turnarounds and junk companies. And they decided to make a change and invest in a high-quality company in 1972, and that was See's. And it went so well for them that now he is just known for buying quality companies. It completely caused See's Candy completely caused a pivot in the strategy of Berkshire Hathaway, probably the best-run financial holding company in the world, I guess.
Oh,
So tell us, I mean, you weren't there.
well, I'm not a C. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm married a
Yeah,
C.
but what do you know? What's your, when,
Well, when I see the picture
your
of Mary
royalty
C.
kind of,
Oh,
and
God.
so,
Not
yeah,
royalty.
so we want to know, like,
I'm
what
Irish.
do you know about this?
It's a great candy company, and I know that my husband's childhood was very different than yours and mine. And he used to go to the factories and lay on the conveyor belts collecting chocolate on he and his brothers. So they had a colorful, fun thing. It's amazing that they're not all diabetic, but that's a separate story. We'll do our medical report later. It's a good company, and the candy is still as good as it always was. The recipes are genuine, and they are they're the real thing. They came out of Canada into California and developed this, and that was developed by Harry's grandfather. Mary C. is kind of a figurehead, but she is a relative of his.
Is your house full of candy?
Oh, don't. No, we don't, he doesn't own the company, so, but
No,
they
but
do give
still.
us a break occasionally on a box that we buy.
Okay,
It's
Well,
a good
thanks.
company.
thanks for sharing that.
It always reminds me of Christmas because my great
Yeah.
aunt would send my sister and I Christmas Seas candies and
Oh,
we'd get like a
nice.
special, candy thing
Christmas
that they were
box.
offering at Christmas time. Super exciting. So that's what I think of when I think of Seas.
There you go.
John, are you associated with any famous companies
No.
in America?
No.
No? Okay. Are you?
Too bad, John.
Yeah.
No? All right. Okay, well, thank you. This has been very informative, and I think between this and the interview with the chief and Dwight, I think we've given access to pretty much every angle of this.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome to come back. Well, we're probably going to close the studio pretty soon,
That's what I'm
but we will continue to do interviews on split screen. So if you're willing to sit in your dining room and look into your laptop, we can continue to do that. But there's a little more time if anyone does want to come and speak against this. That's what we're here for. But I'm
Fair
not
enough.
sure that we will. So there. Maureen C., John McDowell, Heather, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Very
for
nice.
Learned a
listening.
lot, and this will be up, recording of this will be up on the website in the next 24 hours. We'll also put the link to your campaign site.
Great.
And are you giving away the bumper stickers, or are those more for trucks? Do you have enough?
We've got a few left, don't we?
Yeah, we can get you one.
Sure.
Okay, well,
It's,
I'm just, anybody out there would like to have,
The fire
they're made by hand, and it takes like 15 minutes to make each one. So
oh, they're
we're
like
not-
big sheets of vinyl?
Yeah, well, he has a vinyl printer, so he makes them, he cuts them,
Oh.
he puts the red on the magnet, so it's a process. So we're not like in the process of like mass producing them, but we
Yeah.
certainly,
So it should be like a high visibility vehicle,
Yeah.
not like something that's stuck in a garage all the time.
Right.
yeah.
A
Yeah.
truck is a great one.
Yeah, okay. If you got a truck that's high visibility and you want to support this levy, get a hold of John or Maureen, and they'll have a custom-made giant bumper sticker. It looks
You got
really
it.
cool, and you
You
probably
got it.
will never want to take it off your truck.
Happy to offer one.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
And
much.
thank you, Dave Schnuckel over there, director, and Jeremy Tyler, audio. Have a great day. We, I think, are going to be live again on Thursday,
Yeah.
talking to Amanda Lynn. And then next week, I think Stephanie O'Day is going to have her own
Oh,
show.
wow.
Can you imagine? And we're going to talk about, they're going to talk about, I'm not part of it. They're going to be talking about construction on San Juan Island. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.